Hey everybody, this is James Rattlesnake Defense. Today I have something interesting. It's a Glock with a new type of binary trigger, and the big question is whether it works or not. So stay tuned and we'll see. Alright guys, now today we have, this is a G-Flex trigger kit that's installed on this Glock. It's a model 45. It's binary, so as you can see, this is cleared. So when you pull the trigger, and then on the release, click, click. So you're gonna get a shot when you pull the trigger, a shot when you let go, just like the binaries for the ARs, the AKs, the 1022s, and all that. The big question is, this is the first thing I've seen like this for a handgun. I know that Franklin had been working on one, but I've not seen an example of this, so this is the first one of these I've actually had in my hand. And like a lot of you guys, I wonder how it's going to function and how well it's going to work. So, fresh trigger installed in a fresh Glock. We're going to put a few rounds down range. And we're going to function test it and see how well this works. So, without any further ado, that is quick. I was afraid you might actually outrun the action with the pulling the trigger fast, but that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, let's run it. Well, it's a little bit inconsistent, of course, but this is my first time trying this out. No jams, no misfunctions, no misfires, no nothing of that kind. It seems to do exactly what it's supposed to do. I don't think I hit anything. But as far as just putting some rounds down range quickly, that's definitely up to the task. The trigger pull is actually a little bit lighter than a standard Glock, but the return is fast. As soon as you go to let go of the trigger, that second shot comes in. Now these are running just over 200 bucks. So we have them. I know they make them for like a Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5 model Glocks. I wouldn't mind having one of these in my Shadow, which could be really interesting. I got a full-size Shadow with a compensator. That could be a lot of fun, especially with the double tap. But let me get some more mags loaded, and we're going to run a little more tests. Stand by. Alright, I appreciate you guys watching to this point. Before I put a couple more mags through this thing and test it, I just want to say, if you like my content, please give me a like and subscribe. It means a lot to the channel. YouTube doesn't like gun stuff. You guys know that. Also, if you want to see some stuff that I really can't put on YouTube without getting demonetized, class 3s and things of that nature, I do have $1 a month with some members only videos. If you have an iPhone, you might have to do it on your computer, but if you have an Android, it should be at the very bottom of the video. That being said, let's see if we can get this thing to even out the fire rate a little bit with a little bit of practice. So 15 goes pretty quick. If this is something look, I did a video on the binaries for the ARs. If you want me to tell you this is practical, I'm not going to tell you it's practical. I'm having fun, except for the cost of the ammunition. This is definitely a neat upgrade for your Glock. It gives it a whole new life. And as far as practicality goes, the double tap is not that bad, but there's one question I've had that people have asked me about these that I'm not sure, so we're going to try it now. If you fire once, now I don't want to fire the second round, so I'm going to drop the magazine, kick the shell out, and let go. Now that's my only beef with this trigger. There's no way to deactivate it once you pull the trigger. Within a Glock, without a safety, there's nothing to switch on or off to stop that second round from coming. So that's the way you're going to have to stop that, which I mean, it's a little complicated, but just make sure you keep your finger squeezed on the trigger. Otherwise, I have no beef with this whatsoever. This does exactly what it's supposed to do. It'll fit just about any Glock. It'll fit a lot of the Glock clones. You just have to know what generation equivalent your Glock clone is. This gun is now a little toasty, but for the people wondering, and you know who you are, there's been several people asking for this video, it works just fine. No malfunctions, no issues. Everything's working great. Like I said, these triggers run a little over a couple $100 for any of them. They should be available. If you got a dusty old Glock you want to get out and shoot and have a little fun with, highly recommend. So, not going to say it has any real defense or practical applications, but it sure is fun for putting rounds down range. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much.